Let's freaking go. Hey, off the live on Instagram. Why not? Gotta get this message out there, folks. I don't care how nutty people think this particular topic is. It is crucial that we question things. It is crucial that we source our information and get to the bottom on an individual level as to whether or not this poses a threat or not. I'm kind of doing a spoiler alert because in conclusion, you literally would be crazy not to look into this information for yourself. I'm just verifying real quick that we're good on Rumble, and we're going to freaking dive on into it. Looks as though we're good. Okay, let's dim this out. Welcome to UNMUZZLED Chat. I thoroughly wish, let me spit out my gum as it gets stuck on my tooth, that I could have this discussion with one of you. Have you done your research? Which side are you leaning towards? That every streak in the sky is in fact a contrail? Or have you done your research and come to the conclusion with the indisputable evidence, overwhelming information? Because, spoiler yet again, fact, it is no secret, they are spraying under the guise of combating climate change. Gosh, evil's so clever, isn't it? Pulls a wool right over our eyes under the guise of doing good. What are they doing? Freaking poisoning us. Another spoiler. Okay, so let me say, let's actually change the tunage. Why not? Let me say this. I am truly grateful to be here today. I really stepped in it. And just like with Mark, shout out to Mark, Lieutenant Mark. Why am I brain farting? I don't want to mess up his last name. I'm so sorry, Mark. But the last episode, it is crucial that we share that episode. We get his message out. He walked it. He experienced the tyranny, the overreach, the infiltration, and we must get to the bottom of it. And it's heroes like that that are leading the charge to the betterment of all humanity, all of us. Could we please support heroes like that? But to his point, I can only show up through experience. My experience. That's it. It will land where it lands. I don't want to twist anyone's arm. I don't want to force my views upon any of you. I want you to come to your own conclusions. But today's topic is extremely alarming, and I want to go about it in a way that more so provides us strength and hope in giving us solutions, that it is not some overwhelming, because that might be what is in fact keeping some individuals in the dark and not doing their research. Because it's like, well, if in fact that is true, what am I going to do about it? Right? Do not be disheartened. We 100% could combat that. And then we can move that momentum to the other war tactics and the other to just breathe more health into our lives, more freedom, save some souls along the way. What better things are there to engage in, more meaningful, more purposeful, than showing up on behalf of love for those around us in our lives? Not just our loved ones, our neighbors, strangers even, folks. Come on now. So I'm going to do my best to keep this episode as simple as I can, because regarding this topic, we have brought the receipts time and time again. We've brought the experts. The information truly is so overwhelming. It's out there. Not overwhelming in a bad sense, in a good sense. I mean overwhelming in the sense that you cannot deny the truth of the matter. Okay. You can't argue it. And the truth is, I'm doing too many spoiler alerts. So the whole main reason for this episode is we're going to continue to touch on this until the problem is properly addressed. But what really motivated me was, in fact, when I swung through, I heard, I'm actually camped. I moved camps, and I'm camped really close to where fellas like to go and ladies like to go shoot. And I was like, that's my type of people. And I want to scope out this range and see if it has the distances I'd like to sight in that rifle. And had two amazing chats with individuals. But when one fellow pulled up and he overheard as I was having a chat with these individuals, some of the politics. And so when I was driving out of there, I decided, I'm going to swing by and chat with this fellow real quick, hand him an UNMUZZLED chat card. And he just bull-nosed me, not interested. I don't deal with politics. And I was like, oh, well, good. Because we try to step back and look at the bigger picture. It's bigger than politics, folks. It truly is. Politics, in fact, have been used in a way in the Republican and Democrat and left and right, red and blue. It's been weaponized to divide us. It's not to our benefit anymore. We're to look at individuals in the fruits. Frick all that division crap. And it's keeping us from focusing on the bigger issues, the real rulers that are infiltrating our very establishment, our infrastructures, if you will. So I was like, well, good thing, because we're not that political in that sense. Some discussions maybe, but I was like, and that's where I shifted. And I was like, because I figured he was a family man. And I was like, well, we definitely like sounding the alarm on the tactics that are war tactics that are being deployed and poisoning all of us and your loved ones. And he just smirked at me. And I looked up in the sky and I happened to see some chemtrails. I probably should have went a different route, but whatever. That's where I was led. And I was like, right there, brother. That's proof. And he's like, Contrail? Are you freaking crazy? Anyway, so I ended up stepping in it. Things got a little heated. But I've really been contemplating and thinking about this. And it's these type of interactions, I feel, that are even keeping us from having these discussions. We must gain the resilience to have normal discussion. And there's fictional, even if it wasn't fictional core beliefs, if you had a core belief that would lead you to just out the gate treat someone so horrifically, there's an issue. So I want to challenge all of us to show more grace, show more love, but also challenge ourselves to have these conversations. It's so crucial. So, you know what? Let's just go ahead and since this gentleman brought up contrail, okay, here we go. Let's go right here. So just a quick search on Brave, contrail definition. Boom, this is what pulls up. I'll read it word for word. A visible trail of streaks of condensation condensation, but that's not what it's saying. Now I'm tripping up. Read that for me, will you? Why am I tell you, I have my own struggle reading. I've had to relearn, not just due to mainly Lyme disease, but computer monitors are, I don't know. My eyes, I think that's telling us something. frick all this digital space, right? Let's live in reality. Okay, but let's continue. Water vapor or ice crystals, sometimes forming in the wake of an aircraft. Sometimes forming. Water vapor and ice crystals, folks. Water vapor and ice crystals. How many times? Let's continue to repeat that. In fact, look at the cover image of this very episode. We gave a pretty prime example, okay, of two different type of streaks. And there's a distinction between the two. The one that seemingly dissipates within a certain distance, from the aircraft, that continually chases the aircraft, that in fact is a contrail. That makes sense. Let's just put on, we don't even need our critical thinking hats, okay? Common sense, right? Right here. Water vapors, ice crystals, okay? Ice crystals would dissipate, water vapors would dissipate in the sky very quickly, very easily, right? That's your contrail. Now think about the other one that spans the whole skyline, that doesn't just last hours, that dissipates and lasts all day. In fact, probably days and weeks. It just slowly spreads to a point it's hard to acknowledge that it's still there, or even maybe clears out enough. So that's not water vapor. That is not ice crystals. That cannot linger that long. It cannot. So that in and of itself, we don't have to be scientists, okay, to understand that there's a difference between a contrail that dissipates right behind an aircraft and then this trail that lingers. Let's put that under the classification, if you will, of a chemtrail, okay? Because the only way that lingering happens is, in fact, and we have the receipts to back it up, is spray. It's a chemtrail. We're being sprayed. So when you personally absorb that fact, you want to naturally know, or you should want to know, what in fact are they spraying? Is it damning? Is it harmful? Have the studies been done? Now, let's backpedal a little. Just this distinction, okay? If we really absorb it, we cannot allow ourselves to continue to lie to ourselves and believe what they want us to believe, okay? Because the next question becomes, in my mind, with that individual and in others that aren't, like, where are you getting your information? Where? Is it from the talking heads, the proven, owned, controlled media, Fox News, CNN, the whole lot? Is it, in fact, from Google? Is it from censor-controlled social media platforms? Where was this man getting his information? Like, here I was trying to sound the alarm, like, oh my gosh, you want to come after me when I'm trying to warn you about something that is poisoning your loved ones. And I'm the bad guy. You want to get into fisticuffs with me. You want to get in my face over that. There's a great disconnect here. It's very simple. It's like, okay, brother, like, I get it. Like, you know it all. There's only one area, and it's all that an individual like that's getting his information. It's from the controlled side. It's from the side that labeled something recently safe and effective, which in fact had no effectiveness, and it had no safety. And if it was so safe, they wouldn't have gained full immunity, right? I mean, there's just so many things. We're just going to keep it simple and stay on topic. So let's acknowledge it is crucial to source our information. We must get on platforms such as Rumble, X has been liberated to a huge extent. However, it's still censoring. It's still booting people off the platform that are really pushing the envelope on some truths. Think about it. The same organizations, there's nothing conspiratorial about it. They're the conspiracy theorists. They're the propagandists. They're the misinformationists, because they don't want you to acknowledge and obtain this information to stop what it is in fact they're doing. And all they want to do is ensure this two-tiered infrastructure lasts. Okay, and they'll do whatever it takes. They will genocide the majority of the population if that's what it takes to get the population down to a manageable level. They've stated that. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So the fact is, if you stay on controlled sources for yourself, surprise, you yourself will in fact be controlled. That's just common sense. It's a fact. You will be controlled if you continually absorb the information from controlled sources. You're not free at that point. You're totally putting your life, your entire trust, your entire being, and all your loved ones into someone else's hands in this existence. And it's not God's. And if in fact you looked into these individuals that are wanting to control the information, they are demonic. They're evil. They are so evil, we can't even wrap our minds around as to how evil they are. So let's be real. And don't take offense, because I'm not speaking to everyone. And the majority of you, I imagine, right here on Unmuzzled Chat family, understand this and get this. I hope this ends up a good enough episode that you will, in fact, share it with those that aren't so much in the know. But let's be real with ourselves. Literally, how dumb would we have to be to believe all these streaks in the skies are, in fact, CONTRAILS with what we just discussed? They are not, once again, water vapors nor ice crystals when they span the whole sky. That's just a fact, okay? So there is that distinction, and we must stop lying to ourselves. And with that experience, not enough of us are in the know. So we must, if we don't feel convicted in it, let's do the additional research necessary. And we must start speaking out on these things, because not only do we need others to understand the truth of the matter, we must actually start taking action to protect our loved ones. Okay. Now, a great source. Let's move into a source of information. And it is in the description right below. Everything's very simply laid out. And FRANKENSKIES, you don't need to look any further than this. This brings up the patents. This brings up, like, it has all the proof that it is geoengineering, that in fact, the chemical compounds, the mixtures they're making up with, which other scientists have now verified 40 different concoctions as far as we know. We allow this type of experimenting to continue on us. Folks, it's only a matter of time where we don't have to roll up our sleeves. There is no more consent to whatever it is they want. They will sooner or later create things that are effective enough just by breathing in, just by touching. It's not good. We must stop this. But what we have gathered, the information we have gathered regarding what they're spraying is so damning We literally need to take action on this today. Yeah, let's stand strong. Let's speak the truths when we gain the convictions. Once again, let's look at the analogy. Would, in fact, you do nothing if I hypothetically, an individual, if I, it's such a horrible analogy. I apologize, but bear with me. Whether it was through a school setting or babysitting, if I, in fact, was poisoning some of your loved ones and you gained that information, you gained the evidence, I'd venture to say most guys, real men, they wouldn't even bother with the law. They would grab a shovel and they'd handle it. Others obviously would take legal action, would ensure I couldn't harm another human being and want to see me as they should, behind bars for the rest of my life, as you should. So I want to ask you then, why are we allowing, or you allowing, others to poison your loved ones? Now, if you haven't watched it, watch it and you'll see for yourself. Okay. And the information doesn't stop it there. There is oodles, right? And just know that very well-funded individuals, I mean, the ones obviously enacting this through military aircraft, commercial aircraft, and even the private sector, they've all three. There's been whistleblowers, there's been specific like even footage to the outfitting of these aircraft. It is no secret. It is so they've talked out on it that this is a very cheap option for them to do what they're doing, and even in the tune of billions. So think about it. On the information side, they're obviously going to put a lot of money, time, and energy into fighting the disinformation, the truth, just like they did with the pandemic. They are the propagandists. They are the liars. Okay. We're here to sound the alarm on these things to gain our health. Why else would I be doing this? Why would you think I want to talk on these topics just because I want to be a conspiracy theorist, just because I want to target? People are getting thrown in prison and suicided and disappeared when they're effective enough pushing back and gaining momentum on these type of topics. Think about it. Starts to make sense when you really put things together. So, yes, in conclusion, you would literally have to be some sort of crazy not to even look into this, yet not do anything about it. So great, you gain the convictions. Yeah, you'd have to be some sort of insane crazy to not do anything about it until it is stopped. And it isn't a doom and gloom, folks. It's an exciting opportunity we got. Yeah, it sucks that this is the reality of the world we live in. But what's ignorance going to get you? What's no action going to get you? We won't even get into the nitty and gritty, but we'll just touch on aluminum and barium and graphene oxide and the plastics and so many of the things that are included in there. Literally have a horrific health impact, but they have a dumbing down impact. So with Alzheimer's, things to that nature. So the window of opportunity, in a sense, is closing. And I pray we seize the opportunity and we just hit it out of the park. That would be freaking amazing. So Do you really care about your health? Is the next question. Do you care about all those you love in this existence? Please do not let this message just go in one ear and out the other. If you aren't convicted on it, we've all seen this. Well, if you paid attention, you'd see the distinctions between a contrail and a chemtrail. They can't both exist and be a contrail. Okay. The dissipating one, that makes sense. Their definition right here, that makes sense. Okay, the dissipating one, yep, got it. So, but water vapors, ice crystals don't make sense on the ones that linger all day. So what the frick is that? Okay, so they're pulling wool over people's eyes on this definition. Okay, they 100% factual. You can't even argue it when you actually look at it. They talk about it themselves. Okay, from government officials, right, to scientists, to even the military. FRANKENSKIES uncovers it all. I just want the poisoning to stop. So let's go ahead and shift in to, and this is going to be a shorter episode, folks. I hope you're happy about that. Then you can get about your day. In fact, then you can get about taking action on combating this. Like, frick yeah, let's go. Let's be amped. Let's be excited. So you could just simply type in, so I'm in Arizona. So Arizona state officials, whatever state you're in, go ahead and just plug that in. And then there's az.gov elected officials, AZ. Here you go. Here's the list of the officials. You can click on the governor. The selected governor for Arizona. Unbelievable. But you can scroll through. Oh, boom. Contact us. And there's all sorts of information in here. But boom, here we go. We got emails. We got a phone number. We got a physical address. Okay. Literally. We should be organizing as groups and protesting outside of these addresses. 100%. We should be calling this number, leaving voicemail after voicemail after voicemail, which in fact I will be doing. And it's just going to be simple. I demand you stop lying to the masses about contrails and chemtrails. I demand that you stop spraying and experimenting on us stat. If you will not do this, we will ensure that you are replaced with someone that will address our concerns. Simple as that. Boom. And we could shoot them the email. Let's do that. And then we should go down that list to every state official. If someone wants to take it upon themselves to, maybe I'll start spending time on it for the state of Arizona. But we need everyone to take the initiative in your individual state to list out all the phone numbers of these individuals, all the emails of these individuals, and then even do a mock-up email of our demands. And then you could forward it to me. I don't care what state you're in. I will blast it. I will broadcast it to the best of my ability. So folks, and you don't even have to be in that state to call and address your grievances. We should be doing this in every state till it's banned across the nation and then the world. I actually just caught wind. I mean, it's incredible. When I went into the herbal shop again, because I still have issues with this Lyme disease and it's manifesting through ways. It's no fun, but it just puts the emphasis on how important our health is. But what amazing conversation I had with the individuals there. They're in the know because they care so much about health. They're in the know on the frequency warfare, the spraying, the consolidation of our food so they can control the food sources and add in with self-made meats, things of that nature, whatever they want to. Sure, they may have it be somewhat, let's say, unsymptomatic for a while to try to gain the trust of the people. But at any point down the line, when it's fully centralized, what they could put whatever they want in there. We would have no idea. We must keep the majority of the farmers and everything like that, like privatized. We need to kick back the EPA and all the government governing of they're messing up everything. It's tyrannical. Anyway, I'm getting a little beside the point, but let's start taking this action. It happens to be almost 5 o'clock here on a Saturday. So unfortunately, I'm not able to really call on a Saturday. So I'll look forward to leading by example, and I'll record the interactions, and I'll even try to get a little more organized myself. But it does take a village. We must take this action together. How beautiful would it be to have our blue skies back? Let's do this together. And then once we gain that organization and that momentum, folks, next. Okay, shoot. Like, you don't want to dive into the 5G. Just absorb this, okay? We haven't even properly gained current measurements on our environments right now and done proper assessments as to how healthy it is regarding the frequencies either. Is that too much of an ask for us to have non-biased and proper and through our states and governments? I mean, they shouldn't be send billions overseas. We should be allocating those funds to ensure the safety and wellness of us here. Okay. And once we obtain that and we raise this, they don't want, there's a reason why. I mean, anti-Semitism is a big censored topic, but the other biggest censored topic is things regarding our health. Okay. That tells us something. They're fighting tooth and nail to continually diminish us, our loved ones. We should be fighting back on the censorship, hardcore, getting on these platforms, getting on Rumble. That should be so alarming. In a good way, because we have opportunity. Can't you see early pandemic, like when true doctors were gaining momentum on Parler, like, wow, big followings, and they were challenging the PCR test. They were challenging the hospital protocols. They were challenging the COVID shot, with the patents, all those things being prior so effectively. So what did they do? They shut down Parler. Luckily, Rumble's privately set up, and it's not using Amazon servers, so Bezos and Amazon could shut down the web services. Okay, and Elon liberating X. So we have an opportunity to speak truth. We just need to drag everyone in that cares in a loving way. I'm so excited. And I apologize. I mean, there's a little bit of ebb and flow. I'm human after all. So maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. Good cop, bad cop, right? Ebbing and flowing. But I'll admit, the darkness, the weight of it all was, and this is where the shift in perspective is so crucial. And I'm so grateful for our loving creator, God. He truly has given me, even though I'm a limited being, the resilience to continually show up with love in my heart and peace in my heart in a huge way. However, as a human, I let that, because I so greatly wanted to see shifts in good ways, I let the weight, the darkness more so consume me. And as you could tell on recent episodes, that truly shined through. And I guess in a way, I'm even grateful to have aired it all so we can acknowledge together how mortal we are, how dependent we should actually become on our loving creator. And just like the CONTRAIL, CHEMTRAIL, we need to make the proper distinctions between the God of this world, the prince of this world, and the loving creator of it all. The God of this world will project himself as a loving creator and very effectively get a lot of people wrapped up into censorship and more control. Any levels of tyranny are not of our loving creator. You can see that with the free agency he's given each and every one of us. So it's all your choice. I just pray that we seize this moment, we seize this opportunity. So we'll dive into the Jesus is Calling and we'll wrap things up. Let me give a quick plug to our affiliations. I'm so grateful to have these affiliations. Everyone has private health insurance. Some have life insurance, or even for your business. Folks, check out Insure a Patriot. Mark over there, he's a godly man and he's doing amazing things with the money he's getting from that business. Okay. And there's a great chance that he could actually up your coverages and save you money. If you just mention, you call him, click the link below and you call him, or you reach out and mention Unmuzzled, he'll give you a free analysis and assessment of it all. Information's not going to hurt you. Let's stop funding insurance companies and brokers and individuals that in fact don't share the same morals and values. And he's showing up. The fruit that man is bearing is good. And he's doing so many things selflessly on our behalf. So let's take the time and do that. Check out Patriot Mobile. We all got mobile devices. They're the only Christian conservative mobile network out there. I am in communication with them in regards to a couple concerns I have, but that's kind of personal. Kind of has to do with Israel, but we'll see the outcome and whether I stick with them or not. But for the time being, holy smokes, they are putting a lot of funds, like millions of dollars now, towards pro-life, towards our veterans, a lot of great causes. What's Verizon doing other than infringing on our privacy in AT&T or T-Mobile or whatnot in their new user agreement and infringing upon your privacy? Unbelievable. So not only could you up your coverage, you could actually save money there as well and gain a layer of protection and privacy through them as your mobile provider. Information is not going to hurt you. Health is so crucial. Check out Bond Charge. You're getting 15% off our affiliation with them. I hope I have enough power. I want to do an infrared sauna sesh tonight and sweat out a lot of toxins. I know my body needs it. But they have more than infrared sauna blanket. The infrared red light is amazing. There's so many, bro. The list, you just got to look into it yourself. And everything can emit good and harmful frequencies. Everything that Bond Charge offers has been thoroughly tested and looked into. And they have the blue blocks, glasses, everything. Just click the link below and follow the prompts. Oh, the Masterpiece Tincture. Guys, let's eradicate all the heavy metals that are being sprayed, that are being put into our food and water, and the forever chemicals in our food, simply through that Masterpiece Tincture. It's a miracle tincture. I can't wait. I finally ordered my refill, and I can't wait to have it in hand and start taking it. I think that actually had to do with some of my decline. Just slowly absorbing more of these toxins, and over time, when it gets to a certain level, it diminishes your ability, and it might even have led to me raging out to an extent. Not to excuse myself, like it, full accountability, full responsibility. But if you're in Arizona, check out Unchained Wellness Clinic or Pure Benefits Aesthetics and Wellness. Other than that, we got challenging times ahead, folks. Check out American Reserves. You can get your survival food, water filtration systems, generators, all sorts of things, 10% off. Just plug in Unmuzzled during checkout. You'll be set. Check out Black Eagle Apparel. Get yourself an Unmuzzled Chat t-shirt. When you punch in Unmuzzled with them, I believe it's Unmuzzled Chat through them, it'll be an additional 10% off any other discounts you come across. All right, that's enough with the affiliations. I'm just so grateful to have these affiliations because, my goodness, I want to stay in the category of the unpurchasable, okay? And it's only through companies that are willing to show up on these topics and associate with these topics. Like that says a lot about them in and of themselves. Because to truly be unmuzzled and challenge so many of these narratives, like they're going up pretty powerful individuals and corporations, and they're willing to fight on those front lines, and that's to be praised and acknowledged. Okay. We are October 12th. States, beware of seeing yourself through other people's eyes. We kind of tend to do that, don't we? Maybe even subconsciously. There are several dangers to this practice. First of all, it is nearly impossible to discern what others are actually thinking of you. Moreover, their views of you are variable, subject to each viewer's spiritual, emotional, and physical condition. The major problem with letting others define you is that it borders on idolatry. Like idolization of oneself. Am I getting that right? Your concern to please others dampens your desire to please me, your creator. Man, it is so great to continually humble myself. I get it. When you haven't obtained the faith and you don't have the trust in our loving creator, it's hard to do, but it is to our benefit. He is the only one we can entirely unload and put our full trust in this existence. The only one. We are so lucky to have such an amazing creator. And Jesus was sent to pave the road for us. I'm so grateful. We clearly are in the latter days. You know, another one I didn't plug that is crucial is EMP Shield. Get that on your vehicle ASAP. You're getting $50 off each product you purchase through our affiliation. They're getting blown up. Their products are even limited, and for good reason. There's great threat, and I don't want you to be caught more so with your pants down in a life-threatening situation when a working vehicle could save you and your family's lives. That is the best bang for buck in protection and preparations you can do. And it secures all these other investments you do on water filtration, food, ammo, guns, gold, silver, the nine. Because what is all that going to do you if you have to relocate and your vehicle don't work? You're in trouble. I don't want you to be in trouble. Get an EMP Shield today. All right, let's continue. It is much more real to see yourself through my eyes. We gain more truthful vision and clarity. My gaze upon you is steady and sure, untainted by sin. Through my eyes, you can see yourself as one who is deeply, eternally loved. He's got so much love for all of us. Wow. I just felt convicted in this moment, just even voicing these very words. Rest in my loving gaze, and you will receive deep peace. Respond to my loving presence by worshiping me in spirit and in truth. We got to align with truth. Let's stop being deceived under misinformation, disinformation, conspiracy theories, evil, deceit. Jeez, words, James. We got to make the proper distinctions in order to properly protect us and our loved ones in this life and fulfill this connection and aligning with his spirit and truth to gain peace, purpose, meaning, the whole nine. There's 2 biblical references here. I challenge you to look them up. We got Hebrews 11:6, John 4:23 through 24. I look forward to reading those as soon as we wrap up here. I mean, if I would have bookmarked it, I would have had and dove in it now. But let's think about this for a second. Is there any better or more meaningful action or purpose to our lives than to serve those around us in this life? I can't think of any mortal gains that are more meaningful. With that, I hope this was more enlightening. I hope this is a better way about, creating these episodes. Evil has effectively kicked us while we're down enough. Last thing you need is me kicking in addition. So thank you so much for sticking with me and giving me grace. I love you all. I want the best for all of us. And we can ensure, whether we right the ship or not is irrelevant, we can ensure we land in peace, forgiveness, and that meaningful purpose. Like we'll fulfill our purpose in this life. And that's what it's all about. 100%. I'm convicted in that. So let's go. God bless you, our loving creator God. May our loving creator God bless this country that is falling apart at the seams. Until next time, take care of yourself.